by being a digital nomad, you're wasting your life.
Wow.
Some people's opinion.
You know what? I have this degree. Let me now become a digital nomad and do nothing with it.
It's like, oh, will I disappoint them? Let me give it a try.
So, Dian, you're a digital nomad. You were born and raised actually in Asia, which I think is very cool because I feel not a lot of digital nomads come from Asia itself. I feel like a lot of Western people are coming to Asia to become a digital nomad.
Yeah.
But you're a digital nomad in Asia, born in Asia.
Yeah.
And actually the first thing that I want to ask you, what do you do as a digital nomad?
I'm currently doing social media marketing and I'm on a way on building my own personal brand. So I do YouTube and Bread, which is like a platform in China as well. So like I'm building audience on those platforms.
Okay. And what made you think of becoming a digital nomad? Because when you were little, were you like, oh, I want to become a digital nomad? Or what was your path to becoming a digital nomad?
It's actually a more like a shift during COVID. When I was little, I actually wanted to become a doctor.
Okay.
So I actually went to China. So I was like born and raised in Indonesia, and then I want to learn Chinese, and I'm always fascinated in medicine. When I was 18, I moved by myself to China, and I was like, I want to study medicine there because they have the Chinese traditional medicine as well. So I moved there. I actually studied for like 7 years to become a doctor. I just graduated 7 months ago.
So wait, you studied 7 years to then say, you know what, I have this degree, let me now become a digital nomad and do nothing with it.
I got that question a lot, but like during COVID, kind of like forced me to come back to Indonesia. I came to Bali, and that's how I learned all the things about like digital nomad thing.
Okay,
and I was like, is it possible for me to make money online? Because like throughout like my study in China, it didn't really like prepare me for that. It was like preparing you to work in a hospital or in an office, like for most people. And I was like, let me give it a try. If I can just learn all these skills online and like, use it to make money without using my degree as a doctor. I always love social media. So even as a medical student before, like my escape was to edit video for YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know it's something that I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And then, throughout those 2 years, I just learned about digital marketing, take online courses, certification, which is, by the way, there's a lot of free resources online. After COVID, I went back to China to do my internship at a hospital. I just remember feeling like really miserable. Do I see myself doing this for like 10 years or 20 years in the future? And the answer is no. It's a big no. So, it was like that was a huge decision.
I have a quick question about that because, I don't know, maybe I'm stereotyping here, right? But from what I understand, even in my culture, but I think in your culture as well, it's really important for parents, you know, like parents want their children to become doctors, lawyers, engineers. So how did they respond to that?
Because I'm Asian and like, the stereotype of like, oh, Asian parents want their kids to be a doctor and lawyer. So I got that question a lot. But the reason why I chose medicine was because I personally wanted that.
Okay.
And my parents was very supportive. And I remember like one of the consideration I had before quitting, or like, it's like, oh, will I disappoint them? Right? And then I had a talk with them, and they were actually very supportive. They were like, you should do whatever you see yourself doing in the future that makes you happy.
And I think this is very interesting for anybody that is from Asia. Do you think it's possible, being born and raised in Asia, to start a digital career online? Because I can imagine, like, if you can have like an international salary with the cost of living of Asia, that could impact lives in such a big way.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest struggle, and I got that a lot on my channel when I post content about digital nomad. Like people don't usually think I'm from Southeast Asia. Like they always think that, oh, you have the privilege. Hence, like if you grew up in like a Western countries, like the cost of living is a lot higher than Southeast Asia. So that's how people usually come to Southeast Asia. But the thing is, it's actually really manageable.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if like what I said before, I don't really have a background on marketing and stuff, but you can find a way to learn about that and find a company from overseas, even like company from Singapore, they pay like better salary. So
let's say somebody's watching now and they're like, Diane, I also want to work online. Like what would be like the first 3 steps you would recommend them to take?
So this is one thing that I think is really important if you want to like earn income from like a first world country. is to speak English.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So your English doesn't have to be like perfect. Like as long as you know how to like communicate in English, write in English, there's a lot of like copywriting or like social media management work that you can do for a
Okay.
company overseas. Second of all, is like to figure out like a skill
Okay.
that you have that you're passionate about that you can monetize online.
Could you give like some examples?
Graphic design is something like in high demand. Video editing to teach language.
Okay.
So if you speak more than one language, if you speak two languages, you can definitely like go to website like Preply, italki to like start teaching and they pay in USD as well.
And because you said like learning English is really important, but what if you live in a rural area or you don't really have any English speaking people nearby? Like, are there apps or like websites where you can learn English?
Fun fact, I actually like grew up in Borneo and we don't really have like native speaker there.
Okay.
For me personally, I watch a lot of like TV shows, listening to like English songs and stuff, learn by myself. But nowadays, it's like so easy to like learn language. There's a lot of like helpful website and apps.
Okay.
Like Duolingo is one of them. Like taking courses from Preply, italki, that really helps.
Okay.
I don't really learn English from those websites because when I was learning English, I don't think those websites are
Exist. Yeah,
good.
we're there.
Yeah, but I'm learning Spanish and I found those websites actually really helps because it offers like one-on-one
Okay.
teaching lessons, so you can practice your speaking as well, and like having a conversation with a native.
Good night. So you said step number 1, learn English.
Yeah.
Step number 2 is learn a skill.
Yeah.
And what's step number 3 then?
Step number 3 is like take a leap of faith.
Okay.
I know like sometimes you always feel like, oh, I'm not ready for this lifestyle. Like maybe there are things that I need to prepare, which I think is true, but it's only true until a certain point. Like one of like the biggest advice I would always give people who are trying to embark a digital nomad lifestyle is to have an emergency saving.
Okay.
If I don't have a work that I can do online, at least I can sustain my lifestyle for the next 6 months.
How much do you think a digital nomad being born and raised in Asia or Southeast Asia, how much should they be earning before leaving? Because you're not paying rent long term, you're paying like short term rent, which is more expensive.
Yeah.
And depending on where you're going, maybe food might be cheaper or expensive, I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you have like a number in mind, like you have to earn at least that amount of money before leaving?
I would say like it really depends on like which country are you going to. For example, like in Thailand and Vietnam, you can easily sustain your lifestyle by making like $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, like food and rental, like especially in Vietnam, is like a lot cheaper than Bali.
Quick side note, if you go to Dian's YouTube channel, you will see videos of her cost breakdowns of all these different countries. So I would highly recommend to check that out as well. So, okay, people can like have to learn English, learn the skill, take a leap of faith, have an emergency fund, earn at least 1,000 to start with. And I think even like if they're not traveling around, if they would earn 1,000 in their own city or country, that would also have a huge impact on their life. Interesting. So how long have you been doing it?
I have been doing it for 7 months.
What has been your best experience so far since you transitioned from being a doctor to a digital nomad?
Well, I feel like one of the best things that I have
Was meeting me. Of course, I knew it.
I was gonna say like meeting a lot of like-minded people. Like I actually make a video on my channel about like I leave medicine to become a digital nomad, and I got a lot of comments, like a lot of supportive one, but also like a lot of people second guessing like my decision.
Okay,
it's like with being a doctor, you help a lot of people. By being a digital nomad, you're wasting your life. That's some people's opinion. And although like I think it's a noble work as a doctor, and you do help people, I have never felt so like in touch with people as when I was like making those videos and doing the digital nomad life. Because when I made that video, and I was in Thailand by that time, like I saw a lot of people reach out to me, and I even met some of them in person who was like, I feel miserable with my work, and watching your video give me like inspiration that I have this goal and I wanna like find a way to like figure out how I can achieve that goal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Based on that, I just also want to go to that other side, because you said you do social media marketing, but you're also a content creator and you create content.
Yeah.
And from our short conversation we had before, you also told me, even though you don't have a lot of subscribers, you're already making money with your content.
Yeah.
Could you tell people a little bit more about that? Maybe somebody's watching and they're also inspired to make content, but they think like, oh, I have to have 100,000 subscribers before I can make money with it.
Yeah.
Like, could you tell them how you did that, like, or how you are making money with your content?
Yeah, so like when I started, brand actually reached out to me by offering like free products.
Okay, wait. Before we go there,
Yeah.
how many subscribers and how many videos did you already have online before they started reaching out to you?
Oh, I remember I only have around like 1,000 subscribers at that time. Yeah, and my channel was only about like travel and like lifestyle vlogs.
Okay.
So yeah, I was actually surprised that brands wants to like work with me.
And where did they reach out? They send you an email? They
An
send you...
email. I do want to give a tip here. Like there's a lot of brands who's gonna slide through your DM and offer a collaboration, but you want to make sure if that's legit first, because there's a lot of scam nowadays.
Oh, okay, shit.
I checked their domain, it looks legit, so I responded. That's when I first got a brand collaboration.
Wow.
After that, I think like if you don't have a huge followers, you can definitely start by being like a UGC content creator. A lot of brands actually prefer like a micro influencer.
So actually it's almost in your benefit to not have a lot of followers.
Yeah, because like not every brand has the budget for like micro influencer as well. Definitely like put yourself out there. I think that's the first step.
And then just hope and pray until a brand reach out.
Like when you post something, you actually want to mention the brand. It kind of like making the brand notice you. So that's what I did before. I actually tagged the brand.
Yeah.
And then after a while, like they actually reach out to me and said they want.
All right, quick side note. Dian also has an ebook about how to have paid collaborations. So I will put the link also in the description if you want to check that out, because she has a lot of experience. Like in all honesty, like I think I have like a little bit less subscribers than Dian, but I don't have the same amount of collaborations that Dian have. So she has some valuable knowledge that even I don't know about. So that's why I would definitely check the ebook that she has about how to work with brands. Besides that, like, what is the goal now with your YouTube channel?
So I definitely want to build a community. I know a lot of people, like a lot of aspiring digital nomad out there, and I really want to help them. That's why like I'm also considering about like making a call package where I can like have more individual time, like private time with like understanding their goals, what the skills they have, so that I can help them achieve their dream as well. And with YouTube, yeah, hopefully it will keep doing well. Yeah, and hopefully I can reach out more people, meet more aspiring digital nomad, create this meaningful friendship. Yeah.
All right, then we'll wrap it up here. Diana, I want to thank you for giving so much value to the viewers.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. And I would say go check her Instagram, go check her Red for the Chinese people that are watching. Go check her YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever. I'll put all the links in the description. And Diana is going to interview me on her channel. So if you want to look at that, you can also subscribe here and subscribe to her channel. And then we'll see each other later. Bade out.